Everyone, welcome to PapoCoin channel. I hope you will subscribe by the end of this video. The UK is still a major participant supporting the digital asset race, according to my analysis of the decisions being taken in various parts of the world. If we look all the way back to 2022 or 2023, we can actually see that the UK really starts to go into overdrive at that point. Their goal was to establish a crypto hub. They still claim to desire to become a center for cryptocurrency, although they have been lagging somewhat. The truth is, let's be honest, in terms of becoming into a crypto hub, the United States has been making amazing progress. I believe that the increasing acceptability in the United States is beginning to quicken the global acceptance trend. And the United Kingdom isn't being left behind. We have the most recent in the UK and Europe. eToro has introduced a cryptocurrency to fiat conversion service that enables users to move Bitcoin and Ethereum from external wallets, convert them to cash, and then reinvest or withdraw straight from the platform. This was on March 24th, and shortly after, on April 2nd, we learned that BlackRock had received approval to operate a cryptocurrency firm in the UK. BlackRock International is now formally registered as a digital asset company by the FCA. This is no longer merely discussion, it's true. There can only be one client. The product, a fully regulated Bitcoin ETP that is already trading throughout Europe, is offered by iShares Digital Assets AG. For UK institutions that have been left out, this opens the door. BlackRock is now securing its domination in the EU and the US after introducing the largest Bitcoin ETF globally in the US. Is the real institutional era of cryptocurrency about to begin? This is a huge problem, in my opinion. It now gives BlackRock a lot of opportunities in the UK. However, how the UK is preparing is ultimately the main issue I'm genuinely concerned about here. They're actually prepared, and I do believe that there will likely be a significant change in the UK cryptocurrency sector, and I believe it has already begun. I believe that April played a significant role in this, as it has up to this point. This, in my opinion, is just one of many announcements the UK is likely to make this month. Another large one now was recently held at the London Policy Summit. In fact, Ripple was involved in this. Around 2 p.m. on the 1st, it occurred. We are excited to collaborate with Ripple, UKCBT, and Infin on this exclusive event next week, which will bring together industry leaders and experts to discuss crypto asset legislation in the UK, debates on the UK's competitiveness in crypto regulation, networking opportunities with industry experts, and thought-provoking panels with important stakeholders. We currently have from Ripple, according to an updated post from last week's Ripple UK Policy Summit, the UK has the opportunity to take the lead in the global opportunity that is cryptocurrency assets. Leaders in the industry investigated how tokenization, smart laws, and simple coinage may promote innovation, growth, and international competition. We now have the UK Policy Summit's Digital Asset Policy and Regulations. If we go over here to the announcement, scrolling down reveals that the UK's digital assets sector is at a turning point, with long-awaited publications for stablecoins and crypto assets anticipated in the upcoming months. For this reason, earlier this month, Ripple organized a UK Policy Summit with industry partners to talk about how the UK can continue to be globally competitive in this rapidly expanding business. As there is increasing agreement that blockchain technology will revolutionize financial markets, digital assets in the UK have a great opportunity. With strengths in FX, capital markets, insurance, and professional services, the UK already has a highly competitive financial services center that leads the world. It also has all the necessary components to become a global leader in digital assets. In case you are unaware, the United Kingdom is among the major participants in the foreign exchange market, which is worth $7.5 trillion every day. We have discussed it on the channel numerous times. There is growing pressure on the UK to expedite its rulebook, meanwhile, as neighboring jurisdictions like the European Union and other major global financial hubs like Singapore and Hong Kong already have more advanced legislation regarding crypto assets. In collaboration with the UK Centre for Blockchain Technology, a group of colleges, and Innovate Finance, the UK's FinTech Trade Association, Ripple organized a summit to discuss how the sector can effectively support this important work. First up, we have the UK's digital asset opportunity. This essentially lays out some of the ways that the UK government might eventually advance, could potentially include improved investment opportunities, quicker and more effective cross-border payments, round-the-clock trading and rapid settlement, reduced financial hurdles for SMEs, and increased supply chain and corporate treasury management efficiency. Above all, the UK has a chance to establish itself as a worldwide center for digital assets, drawing in investment firms and jobs. Thus, that remains a major focus to this day. It has been a focus for years, as I mentioned, but it continues to come up. Thus, it indicates that the UK is prepared. They aspire to be a center for cryptocurrency. Every country aspires to become a center for cryptocurrency. The legal and regulatory frameworks hold the key to unlocking economic growth through digital assets, which are one of the most direct and economical avenues. Regulation of digital assets is essential because it boosts trust in the technology, especially among institutional or regulated actors that comprise a large portion of the financial services sector. Regulation also significantly lowers the possibility of consumer harm by raising the standard for businesses in the industry. The UK Policy Summit had three main themes. First and foremost, the UK must demonstrate that it is open for business immediately, because it may learn from other countries' experiences and implement a regulatory framework that both mitigates risk and promotes the advantages of digital assets. The UK currently has a second-mover advantage. This implies that digital asset regulation should be proportionately risk-sensitive and outcome-focused in order to foster innovation. The window of opportunity is closing, though, and a major message that came out of industry participants is the necessity of bringing regulatory clarification more quickly and urgently. Thus, our perspective on regulatory clarification is now urgent. The expansion of digital asset markets depends on stablecoins. Now, since we know that there is RLUSD but no RLGP, this is what I'm actually sort of concentrating on. All right, and in a moment we will discuss that here. In addition to serving as on and off ramps to crypto asset markets, stablecoins are a vital component of the ecosystem of digital assets, and their use cases are constantly changing. They are being used more and more for cross-border payments, digital asset transactions, and trading and selling. Panelists at the summit talked about the necessity of a risk-appropriate regulatory framework in the UK that promotes the uptake of this advantageous innovation. Additionally, the UK must guarantee that a range of stablecoins, including those created abroad, can be used in the country if it hopes to establish itself as a hub for digital assets. Tokenization is now added on top of it. Financial markets will probably change as a result of tokenization. Thus, governments must be brave in encouraging its use. According to a UK finance projection, digital assets might account for up to 10% of global capital markets by 2030, or $5 trillion. As pilots throughout the world have already shown, it might result in significant efficiencies in areas like reporting, clearing settlements, and collateral management. The UK government and authorities must be committed to adoption and focused on removing obstacles to it. A large number of these obstacles are governed by laws and regulations. Panelists considered that a strong, ambitious, and all-encompassing approach is required because the progress made thus far has been very piecemeal. We begin to see that accelerated push on this, which is why these summits are so crucial. In the UK, Ripple has a big presence. Of course they do. If we go all the way back to 2016, for example, Santander was the first bank in the UK to use Ripple for international payments. Furthermore, back in February 2022, Modular and Ripple formed a strategic alliance to facilitate smooth payments in the UK and Europe. Furthermore, in June 2024, Ripple and ClearJunction teamed to improve cross-border payments between the UK and the EU. We do have that, with a sizable regional office center in London and a history of supporting the UK developer ecosystem and talent pipeline through the University Blockchain Research Effort and the XRP Ledger Funding Program. The UK Policy Summit emphasized the country's potential to compete globally as a hub for digital assets, supporting the government's growth and competitiveness goal